What's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer, and welcome to my daily 10 a.m. video. Thank you for tuning in. If you would like to win some silver, then click subscribe. The entry video's in the description. Good luck, everyone. Now, I found this article. It's interesting because they're talking about the possibility of silver hitting $130. And I wanted to take this a step further because we always talk about triple digit silver. We always talk about these high numbers, but no one really gives, like a time frame, right? Obviously, silver's worth more than $100, but realistically, when is this going to happen? And what would have to happen? We're in the middle of a very serious global situation, and, the price has relatively been, I guess, low. Now, yes, silver's up a lot higher than it was last year, $11 in March, now up to, got up to almost $30. So, yes, it's up, but when we're looking at these triple digit numbers, it's still extremely far away. So I want to see the points they make, and I also want to ask, you all, I want every single person to comment down below when you think $130 silver could happen. And hopefully they do give some type of forecast or prediction in this article. I haven't really dug all the way into this. I just skimmed through it. It looked like a good read. I wanted to share it with you all. So yeah, after you like the video, let me know down below what type of time frame do you think this could happen? Do you think it's going to be next year, 5 years, 10 years, right? Try to be realistic, but I don't want people to think I'm trying to say silver's going to hit $130 an ounce tomorrow, not next month, not even next year. I don't want people to have false hope. I don't want you to have unrealistic expectations, because that leads to resentments, and then that ultimately might push you away from silver, completely, entirely. And I don't want that to happen. Silver's a much slower paced investment than Bitcoin, and that's a good thing. That's why silver's a safe haven, is because the price can't get manipulated or crash down, several $1,000% within a week or a month like Bitcoin can. So yeah, the link to this article will also be in the description right below the 47K entry video. So yeah, let's just jump into this. So could the price of silver really hit $130 per ounce? So silver made a significant gain in the second half of 2020, right? Silver was actually the #1 performing asset in 2020. It beat Bitcoin, it beat Tesla. Silver was the main, or the #1 asset. So it rose above $20 per ounce for the first time since 2016, right? The average price of silver for the last 10 years was around $15. So even if we perceive silver being cheap right now, low right now, it is still up dramatically. So the spot price for the precious metal has managed to stay securely above that level well into 2021. So nonetheless, well-known figure Keith Newmar, CEO of First Majestic Silver, frequently said he believes the white metal could climb even higher, reaching into the triple digits. Now, I have covered a couple of articles with Keith Newmar, and he's extremely bullish, but he does make good points, right? I just don't know what the time frame is, because you see right here, he's saying once it breaks through 50, it's going to get up to 100 pretty quickly. And I do agree with that. I agree with that simply because that psychological $50 resistance level is massive. It's massive. 1980, $50, 2011, $50, like he's saying right here. But with that, I mean, we're talking about 40 years of the same resistance before it bounces back down. If it breaks past 50, it would go into extreme overbought territory. Now, how high could it go? It could go up to 100, but if it happens too fast, it's not going to stay there. There has to be some price stability. It has to go up to 60, then down to 55, then maybe like 66, and then down to 54. It can't just go straight up. If it goes up, then it's going to crash. But anyways, let's look at this. So Newmar has voiced his opinion often, putting up a $130 price target in a November 2017 interview with Palisade Radio. He did so again in March 2018 with Kitco and another interview with Kitco at the top of 2020. I think I've covered a couple of those, but at times he's even been more bold, suggesting the white metal could reach $1,000. I definitely remember covering that article. I got a lot of hate for making that video, and it's crazy because I'm not the one saying silver's going to reach $1,000, right? People act like that's me saying it, and they call me a silver pumper. No, I'm covering videos, I'm covering articles of other people saying these prices, and I break down their reasoning, right? Just because I make a video talking about $1,000 silver doesn't mean I'm saying that. So anyways, in order, and let me also go on to that point too. I try to be more on the humbled side. I really want to be realistic with my audience because a lot of people do jump into precious metals thinking it's going to explode tomorrow and that they have to buy all the silver right now or they're going to miss their chance, right? No, I mean, yes, $30 silver by the end of 2021, so this could be the last time we see, $25, $26 silver, but it's not going to jump to $100 tomorrow. In order to better understand where Newmar's opinion comes from, it's important to take a look at the factors that affect the metal's movements, where prices have been in the past, and where other industry insiders believe silver could be headed. First, let's dive a little deeper into Newmar's prediction that the white metal could break the seemingly distant $130 level. So first things first, I like that. So there's a significant distance for the silver price to go before it reaches the success Newmar has boldly predicted. In fact, in order for the precious metal to jump to $130, its price would have to increase from its current value by 500%. Now, yes, 500% is crazy, but I've seen crazier, and we're living in crazy times. If you want to talk about crazy silver prices, right now would be the time, right? Things are crazy. So Newmar sees triple-digit silver prices in the cards, in part because he believes the current market compares to the year 2000, when investors were sailing high on the dot-com bubble and the mining sector was down. He believes it's only a matter of time before the market corrects like it did in 2001 and 2002, and mining sees a big rebound in pricing. It was during this time that Newmar himself invested heavily in mining stocks and came out on top. So I've been calling triple-digit silver for a few years now, and I'm more enthused now, said Newmar at an event in January 2020. But I'm cautiously enthused because, I thought it would have happened sooner than it currently is happening. And why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Let me tell you why. Price manipulation. The government doesn't want silver to jump that high. And why would they? Look back at in 1980, the Hunt brothers pushed silver up to $50. And guess what? While silver was literally at its all-time high, even still till today, it was $50. And then the government banned the act of buying silver, collapsed the market, deemed the Hunt brothers as bad guys, as evil, even though they were just buying a lot of silver and they knew the supply was short. They knew the dollar's collapsing. But the government didn't want the price to go higher. There was a silver shortage. They only had enough physical silver to cover 1 month on the COMEX, the month of October. So they had to act fast and drastically. So they banned the act of buying silver. And then Silver Thursday, which was, I think it was in February or March, Silver Thursday happened, where the price corrected 50%. It dropped 50%. And it's literally called Silver Thursday for that. So anyways, the CEO's enthusiasm is based on the fact that governments in the Western world continue to print money and take on massive debt loads. I think central banks around the world have put themselves into a corner. I think interest rates are either going to stay stable or go lower. And the governments are just going to keep printing money and deficit spending. He said the scenario is very supportive for gold, and of course, that will drag silver along. And I think it's even more supportive for silver because, yes, gold and silver are going to rise from deficit spending and quantitative easing and all these things. But I also see silver taking on a life of its own with the low supply and the astronomically high demand that's going to be coming from now on. And I say not just a decade, I'm talking about from now on as electric vehicles are mainstream, as solar panels, and that's gold's not going to benefit from that. But to make another point with these low prices, I was covering an article from who was that? Oh man, I forget who it was. It'll come to me in a second. But I was covering an article. Oh, Ted. His last name starts with a B. Ted Butler. Sorry, Ted Butler. I was covering an article, and he exposed price manipulation. He exposed not only spoofing, right? It's not only just that type of stuff, but he was exposing the corrupt system with the government, with the feds. He was talking about all this stuff. He exposed a lot more than I've ever even heard of, that I knew myself. And he said this can't last for too much longer. And when they can't manipulate or hold the price down, that's when the natural price will start to come out. And he even said in the article, he said, and I quote, think of the highest price you can for silver and then double or triple it. And I don't think he's talking about tomorrow, folks, right? A lot of times when I'm making these videos and someone says something like that, people assume that he's talking about tomorrow. No, this is in the future, right? And you should, if you're not selling for 5, 10, 15 years anyways, then you shouldn't want the price to be doing that right now anyways either. So in more recent interview, when presented with the supply side data from Silver Institute indicating the biggest surplus in silver market history, Newmar was blended skepticism. I think these numbers are made up. I wouldn't trust them at all. He pointed out that subtracting net investments in silver ETPs leaves the market in a deficit, and also questioned the methodology behind the Institute's recycling data, given the most recycled silver metal comes from privately owned smelters and refineries that typically don't make those figures public. That's a very good point, by the way. I've never thought of that. So more controversially, Newmar believes the white metal will become uncoupled from gold. That's what I was just talking about, taking on a life of its own, and should be seen as strategic metal due to its necessity in many everyday appliances, from computers, electronics, solar panels. He also stated that silver production has gone down in recent years, meaning the contrary to popular belief, metal is actually a rare commodity. For the last 7 years, they've been cutting back silver production by millions and millions of ounces. Actually, since, I think 2017, no, it was 2015 or 16. Ever since then, they've been cutting back. There's like hundreds of millions of ounces have been cut back. And that's simply because the price has been low. So there's no motivation to buy it to dig it. They would rather dig up things like gold, lead, or zinc that's going to put some money in their pocket. So we're consuming, as a human race, over 1 billion ounces of silver annually. And miners are only producing about 800 million ounces per year. And that's been dropping for 3 consecutive years. He also pointed to declining grades, making the case for a supply deficit. Now, we've seen several, and I mean several, different articles, companies, people talking about admitting there's a silver shortage. The former U.S. Mint director himself, Rick Harrison from Pawn Stars, did a video covering that. I also showed the live video interview from the U.S. Mint director admitting it. The U.S. Mint themselves came out and admitted it. So, that's not a myth. It's not a conspiracy. So silver in the future, what factors affect its movement? So, we know a lot of this stuff. I've talked about it before. They're just talking about what moves the price of silver. Obviously, it's the dollar index, scarcity, supply and demand, all that. But I want to go more into this. So he sees the silver price averaging $32 in 2022. So that's important to note, because if we're talking about breaking above the psychological level, the resistance level of $32, and it's more than halfway through 2021, and a lot of people are saying 30, even $40 silver by the end of 2021. This will literally be our last time to pay these low prices, right? I mean, this could literally be the last time we get to buy silver for $26 an ounce. In a couple of years or even a year, we'll be wishing we could build a time capsule and go back to, August 1st when we could buy silver for $27. So, given our expectations for inflation to increase over the coming months and for the pressure on the Fed walk a fine line between hiking rates to manage inflation versus supporting economic growth. And that he thinks that, or he believes the price will continue to climb over the coming quarters. Now, the FOMC Federal Chairman Jerome Powell just made some statements. They're keeping interest rates the same, and if they are going to make any big changes, they will let us know ahead of time. So the speculation should be pretty low, but that did help silver. That's bullish for silver, which means that, the dollar isn't getting any stronger. So while the CEO of First Majestic is one of the few saying silver's poised to reach triple-digit price, there is support for Newmore's belief the metal is undervalued and the ideal conditions are present for silver prices to rise. And yes, I mean, that's obvious. Talking about $50 silver in 2011. But so here's some other opinions. This should be interesting right here. So it's going to show, I think, three other companies: CPM Group, BMG Group, and then the moneystocks.com is also going to throw out some price forecasts for silver over the next coming years. So in March 2021, CPM Group managing partner Jeffrey Christian said, wouldn't be surprised to see the price go back up and test the $30 or even $32 an ounce over the next several months. Christian believes the market fundamentals are supportive for silver to climb back to its record high of nearly $50. At some point, we think the prices silver will rise sharp, and this will increase. This increase we expect to coincide with the next financial and economic crisis. So we see Nick Barishev, president and CEO of BMG Group, thinks silver could hit $50 an ounce, pointing out that people are paying closer to the $50 an ounce level on sites like Amazon and eBay. I think the $50 price is more realistic, and it's not a theoretical ask price. People are buying coins and so on at the price, and that is a real good point. Even though silver's $26 right now, spot price. Let's see what spot price is exactly. So $25.57. $25.57. So even though it's sitting around $26, you can't buy silver at $26. You're going to have to, let's go back to JM Bullion. Let's go see what an American Eagle is. $38. That's a 2010. 2021, the Type 2 is $35. So even though spot price is $25, you can only buy silver. There's a $10 premium. Now let's look at what generic silver is. So the most standard cheap silver you can buy is $29. So, it's $3-4 over spot. And that's why I recommend generic silver all day right now over Eagles. You can get so much more silver if you buy it generically, the rounds. So that's actually a pretty good deal. I like that. And this coin looks pretty cool too. I might have to buy some of those bad boys. And I like that. 1,418 people bought in the past week. Not 1,418 ounces. That's 1,400 people that probably bought several ounces. So they are buying them. I mean, that's a good thing. And I also like the buffaloes as well. These look really cool. Look really nice as well. But that's a whole different video. Let's go back. I got a little sidetracked. So, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go. Right here. Right here. Okay. So it is true, though. I mean, most people, especially on Amazon, which never buy silver on Amazon, never. Those sites like Craigslist, Amazon, don't ever buy silver from there. Go to big bullion sites like APMEX, Provident Metals, Modern Coin Mart, SD Bullion, Silver Gold Bowl. Buy from somewhere like that, or your local coin shop, which I actually just made a video about last night. You should go watch. Or go on eBay, but buy from trusted sellers that have a lot of seller ratings. So, anyways, Gareth Soloway is also bullish on silver and believes the white metal could rise as high as $40 to $50 in the next 2 years. So stocks and commodities and currencies do this type of thing where they have a big move and they need to digest it. And it's kind of like a runner running a marathon. You can't go back-to-back marathons. You got to take a break and you got to refuel. Then you can get on your merry way. And that's important because you don't want to just sprint. You have to build stability. Just like when runners, I used to be a long distance runner myself. Actually a very good I broke a lot of school records. But you have to pace yourself, because if you just sprint in the beginning, then you die off, right? Just like when Bitcoin shot up to $18,000 in 2017, it crashed and took several years to recover because it went too fast. If it would have went up, slowly and built stability at $7,000 and built stability at $10,000 in 13, 14, but it didn't. It just went straight up and it crashed. That's the same thing applies to silver. So yeah, now I like this. It says now it's your turn. Will the price of silver really reach $130? What do you think? Does the idea make you more likely to invest in silver or silver mining stocks? Now, I definitely don't recommend investing in the mining stocks. I'm not a financial advisor. But just my opinion, if you can't hold it, you don't own it, right? Right. We're real silver stackers. We invest into physical silver. So, anyways, I thought this was a pretty good topic to bring to light, mainly because I wanted to see, a realistic time frame, and we got, I think, 4 or 5 different people's opinions and perspectives, and everyone's pretty bullish. We're talking about $50 silver next couple of years. Heath is talking about $130+ silver. He didn't really say a time frame, but it looks like he means over the next 3-4 years. And that's something important to look at, because if you're investing, you want to have some type of approach and a game plan. And I don't want you to have this unrealistic expectation that it's going to happen tomorrow, right? So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. The link to this will be in the description. The link to my 47K giveaway will also be in the description. Click subscribe, click the notification bell so you don't miss my videos, because I do post 3 times a day. I know that sounds crazy, but it's really not crazy to me. I don't know why. I just love making videos. It's what I do. It's my way of, I guess, having fun, because it's talking about silver is my passion anyways. Plus, I love making content for you all. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Stay tuned. My next video will be at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard. So stay tuned for that. Go check out the video I posted last night talking about coin shops. Very important stuff. Thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.